Hey guys, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs Show. Happy Monday morning. Hope we're all alright. Hope we're all okay. I hope the day is treating you well. Obviously, the day treats you even better than it has already so far. In this video, though, we're talking about the news surrounding Rodrigo Bentancur's contract extension potentiality, I guess you could call it, as well as Antoine Semenyo interest as well. So I want to talk about both of those in a bit of detail and give you a heads up of what's coming this week, obviously. Just want to say, if you're watching this, you're new, subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. So you give you a quick heads up of what's going on this week. Obviously, loan roundup tomorrow. It'll be more of like a loan international roundup, if you know what I mean. So we're doing that. Obviously, back Saturday, 12:30, Spurs West Ham. So preview will be out Thursday for that. Obviously, members only video coming out on Wednesday. Obviously, the whole thing of that is we look at individual players and how they're doing. We've done Porro, we've done Kulusevski. There's another one to come, obviously, as well as career modes and obviously Ultimate Team on the second channel. So go look at that if you want. Obviously, down in the description below. So let's talk about the Bentancur situation first, because it came out yesterday, and to be honest, I was watching the NFL, so I was a bit. I always call myself I'm dead to the world when I'm watching the NFL. I just don't really care for anything. And it came from Nicolo Shearer, who, fair play to this guy, by the way, because he has been pretty bang on and pretty ahead of most journalists this summer. And he said it's exclusive that Spurs are planning Rodrigo Bentancur's contract extension. So Bentancur at the moment, his contract expires not next summer, the summer after, in the summer of 2026. 27 years old. He's quite a young 27 years old because he's born in late June. So for me, you know how I feel about Bentancur. I think he's our best midfielder. Okay. Yes, okay, Brighton, he made a mistake, but, you know, footballers are allowed to make mistakes. I don't know if you knew that. But for me, it's one mistake when you look at the grand scheme of things, you look at what he has done this season, where, you know, he gets a little bit of form, misses a bit of time, gets a little bit of form, and we'll see about the suspension side of things and what happens there. But, you know, I really like Rodrigo. I think he's fantastic. You know, that 5-game winning stretch, he played big parts of those 5 games and was fantastic within that. So, yeah, I think this is a good move. Obviously, I'm glad it's getting done or being at least put into the process of ahead of next summer, where you do then only have a year left and you have to then make a decision. Are we going to sell him? Are we going to over the top do his contract? You know, I mean, we're still waiting on the Son news, but I think that news will get sorted. He's going to get the option picked up regardless. So Son will get at least the extra year put on. But with Bentancur obviously not having that, it's nice that we're jumping ahead of the bullet, if you know what I mean, and trying to get this sorted early doors. There's more, obviously, in the summer of 2026 that we need to be looking at contract-wise. I'm glad we're starting this process early doors, getting it started now instead of risking it at a later date. Let's talk Semenyo. So it came out a few days ago, and I didn't actually speak about it, to be honest, but I want to speak about it now because we do have opposition or competition for the transfer. So, Give Me Sports saying that Bournemouth winger Antoine Semenyo is attracting interest from Spurs, right? Let me add to that now. And Court Offside saying that Arsenal are planning to make a bid for Antoine Semenyo as well. So look, you've got two of the bigger boys snooping, sniffing, peering around the corner, you know, over the fence, like the dodgy neighbour. You know, looking at him. And look, I think when you look at Bournemouth the last 2 years, so this includes last season when we think about like Solanke. And Solanke obviously had a really great season last year with Bournemouth. Semenyo's emergence, and obviously he's been a good player for a few years, but I mean like the proper sort of announcing himself a bit more to the Premier League to say, hey, I'm half decent. And Solanke going this year obviously puts a bit more pressure on the supporting cast to step up. Van Nilsson's coming, obviously. You know, what does Semenyo give you? Cliver, all these guys. But this season in all competitions, I mean, he's got 8 games played, 3 goals, 1 assist from the winger position. He's a right winger mostly. He can play both wings, but he's right winger mostly. I mean, I've said 8 games. I mean, one of the games was just 22 minutes in the EFL Cup. So it's not, you know, it's more like 7 games, 3 goals, 1 assist in the Premier League, which, hey, 4 goal contributions in 7 games for a winger? That's not bad. I mean, I'm used to Brennan Johnson scoring 7-7, but no, I'm joking. Don't cry. But, with Semenyo, obviously, that's a pretty damn good return. Especially, and I always had this context, and I did it with Solanke. And this is no disrespect to Bournemouth. It never is. Bournemouth, obviously, they finished 12th last year in the Premier League. Sort of mid to lower mid-table last season, which is a decent recovery from where they started last year, by the way, can I say? Because they struggled at first and then hit their groove. With Semenyo and Solanke, they were massive. Semenyo stepped up in Solanke's absence now, which is huge. Now, the key thing to this is he's 24. He turns 25 in January, early Jan. But his contract expires in the summer of 2029. So we're talking about a guy that next summer, which is probably when we're going to be, if we are going to go for him, that would be next summer in my opinion. He's got 4 years left on his deal. And if he continues this trajectory of how he's playing, there's going to be a situation where you're not going to get him for 25, 30 million. It's going to be 40 plus, 50, because he's going to be mid-20s, not even hitting his prime yet. Premier League prem proven. Dynamic, direct, quite an athletic winger as well. You're going to have a situation, he's going to be expensive. I really do think he's going to be quite expensive. And will Spurs do that? I mean, I saw Spurs linked with other Premier League wingers, which we're not going to go into now. These wingers are all quite expensive. Now, obviously, they spent 47 odd million on Brennan Johnson, so it's not like they're opposed to spending money on a good winger or a project like winger. With Semenyo, I do really like the move, and I think we definitely on the right wing. I feel like we need another addition there because I like Mikey, but I personally see Mikey more of a left winger. I don't know what you think there. Obviously, Timo's a loan deal. You got Sonny, but Sonny is, let's be honest, is getting a bit older. He's still very good. I see Spurs fans calling him rubbish and stuff like that. That's just I say this so I can get people clicking and interacting with my post so I can make a bit of money on Twitter, which is shameless. But on the right side of things, obviously, you've got Brennan, who's hit some good form. Kulu is, in theory, probably the backup. But Kulu's had a fantastic start to the season, essentially, and I would rather us focus on Kulu being a central player and then, the third right winger. It's one of those, it's like, we've had an injury, substitution for the right winger. We're going to then put Kulu out on the right and we'll bring another midfielder in. That's fine. That's more of an emergency plan C, not plan B or A, which he can still do that. It's not a problem. But I like him in the centre now, which massively turn of events from how I talked about that at the start of the summer, which I've already held my hands up and apologised for. But with that, I think we do need another right winger. If Johnson drops out of form or if Johnson gets injured, what are you looking at behind him? You're probably looking at Mikey Moore and Timo Werner, which I just see Mikey as the left winger personally. Maybe I'm wrong and maybe he's better on the right, but for me, whenever I've seen the clips and how he's played, it's always been on the left, cutting in. So for me, I think we need a right winger, and Semenyo would be a good pickup for sure. Obviously, you've got that connection with Bournemouth now due to the Solanke move. I don't think that ended in terms of the relationship between higher ups there and higher ups at ours in the best of ways. I think they were a little bit miffed of how long it took Spurs to get the Solanke deal done, just so close to the start of the window. So I don't think you can get a great deal on him, but I think if he keeps this trajectory up and he, let's say he finishes this season with 20 to 25 goal contributions in the Premier League from the right winger position for a Bournemouth team, you would sit there and say, yeah, he'd be a good addition to the squad. But let's see. Obviously, at the end of the video, I hope you enjoyed. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section down below your thoughts, feelings about the Bentancur contract situation, Semenyo, all that jazz in between. Obviously, subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification for more. But guys, end of the video. I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.